And the looming death. Good morning, and welcome to the Olympian Table.
Good morning, everyone.
Oh, we got our special guest in the room. Aaron looks good. What you got going on over there, man? What you got going on over
Call
there?
me by the handle. The handle,
yeah, man.
as you old
we
people
gotta
say,
put
the
your handle out
I'm
there.
I'm doing well, man.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me back on here. Thanks
Absolutely, man.
It's always good to see y'all guys, and I would say beautiful faces, but that'd be a lie.
We got my boy Steve is out again taking care of business as he always does, but we appreciate being able to have a platform here, and Aaron being our stand-in, man. We appreciate you being able to come here so we can just sit and discuss about whatever is on our mind. So yeah, we're gonna dive right in this morning. We got a couple of topics. So first of all, I just want to say, little man with the boots. Hey, that little man. He's working full time, so hey, I let him hang out, do his thing. So it's all good, brother. All good. Good to see you here with us, though.
Just so you know, like I said, it's pumpkin patch season. My wife's favorite season, so we got all kinds of stuff at the crib. We got pumpkin spice candles, pumpkin spice lattes.
Oh my goodness!
She's waiting for the leaves to fall, but I told her this is Texas. But yeah, man, it's good to be here.
Good. Well, cool. We're just going to do a little bit of, I guess, real estate, as this is a real estate basis on the show. So giving kind of an update right now, I was letting my team know that interest rates, if people are not aware, they are going up. The rates, the average rate, of course, has been below 3% for a while, and it eked up a bit because the bond markets have just kind of been moving in a different direction. So that's just kind of the nature of the business. Homes will still continue to get built. People will still continue to buy. So I'm not too much worried about it. But pending home sales, they jumped to a 7-month high, and mortgage applications fall, what they say here. That's on this article here. Was this one that you threw in, Jack, or who threw this in here? I think it was.
It wasn't me, so must have been Steven.
Might have been Steven. Yeah. It's all good. But it is something that, of course, that we have to consider, because it's cyclical. Everything kind of goes, ups and the downs in the market that we've been in. It's been pretty rough with even trying to get an accepted offer. So have y'all been doing a whole lot of refinances over there?
We've done a ton of refinances. It's been pretty much, it slowed down maybe for a period of 2 months. So when the rates dropped in 2020,
right,
it went crazy, and then they kept dropping, and then I forgot when it was. They started going back up for a little while. That was now October. That might have been early summer. Like May, June, the rates started going back up, and then they went back down again. So whenever the rates go down, the refinances increase like crazy.
Of course.
And home buying increases too. I mean, like the purchase loans, but also, I mean, everyone's that's in their current mortgage and they have a 4%, they're going to go try to get that 2.5,
right,
which makes sense. But yeah, how do you feel about that? because everyone's freaking out. Like people freak out about, hey, the rates are gonna go up, and they're gonna go up. But like, I mean, I just look at trend. I'm like, rates historically go down, like over the long term. So
they do, and they can't stay low forever.
Can't stay low forever.
If anyone sitting around waiting, I got a buddy of mine that he just kept on. Man, I just want to watch the rate. Now I think he's at 2.25 now.
Oh,
and I'm like, bro, you can't get the loan for free.
Yeah,
I mean it's
not
going to be much lower than that. No. So. When I explained it to him, I said, listen, now you could try to get on, because he was thinking about a 15-year. I said, well, if you do a 15-year, you're going to be almost doubling your payment, on what you have. So just know, even if you get a lower rate, that payment's going to go up.
Yeah,
So,
it all depends on what your financial situation,
exactly.
too. Some people don't understand. Like, I mean, like you said, I mean, 15 years, like you want to get done paying off the house, then you go 15 years, 10 years. 30 it's a long time. It's a little bit of time, but I mean,
but you can pay it early though.
You can play it early.
Right.
You could even play like depending on what you're trying to do. Like me and my wife are trying to be investors, so there's like a couple of games. You could play the equity game with a 30-year loan. You could play all kinds of different games. 15 years will get you down in equity just by paying, but if you find a good deal, you can sit on a house, pay it the lowest monthly payment you want, and then try to play the equity game. But it all depends on what you got going on.
Absolutely. But in all this madness, I know we were dealing with the COVID-19 and the prices of lumber went up and all that. Now they've plummeted. Now
lumber's down, right?
It's way down.
So you can build that 7,000 square foot house.
Well, you hope, right? Because the builder prices are not down.
Yeah.
And quite frankly, I think they're going to remain elevated, because once they get that comp that they can use to sell, they're going to use that bad boy.
That's another thing I was going to ask you. So what do you think about like the home sales versus like, okay, so the rates are going up, right? Do you think there's going to be as many people purchasing right now? Like, depending, home sales are up now, but at some point, just like the rates are going to go back up, at some point, people are not going to be buying at the same rate they were buying before.
They're jumping on you. There you go.
On me. There we go. Good catch, Aaron. So with that, like the new home building, the custom builders, do you think they're going to keep the price? Or
here's what my prediction. With mortgage applications, of course, down, lumber prices coming down, it'll kind of put builders in a position to where they may have to kind of level off some of that increase. Yeah. And then we may get some foreclosure in there, because, of course, these eviction moratoriums are getting lifted, and people that were in the forbearance agreements and so on, they're going to be coming due. So we may see a little bit of a reversing in that inventory crunch that we've been in, which will open up some more of the resale. Now, people are going to still continue to buy homes.
Yeah, they are.
Will it be at the rate that we've been seeing? No. Quite frankly, the rate's been kind of slower because there hasn't been any inventory for us to even get out there, man. These people are making 10 and 15 different offers and not getting anything accepted. And realtors have been discriminating against the type of financing that are being available for some of these borrowers. They'll take, one particular financing over the other just because they think it's better. But nevertheless, I think it'll kind of level out, man. We'll see some righting of the ship, so to speak, here in the next few coming months.
I think in a couple. That's why I always tell my wife in the year. I'm like, I think by the end of 2021, we'll see some type of quote normalcy.
Right.
Say, let's. But I'm curious. I like to see what happens with this stuff. Just from a business standpoint. Like we're all in the industry, so it's one of those things where you want to you hope for the best, but you also want to see what happens. So that's what I did. I just watched so I could say to my wife that, hey, that's what I said was going to happen.
Exactly. So we just got to hold on and just kind of see where we go from here. I've been in these cycles before. People have just been talking about these bubbles and this and I don't think we're not in a bubble. It's a different type of setup than when we were before.
Yeah, I think so. The thing that I told my wife too is like they're like, oh, people are saying it's a bubble. I'm like, well, the people now, the lending guidelines are much tighter than they used to be. I'm like, these people, when they were approved for loans, they could afford the home. Like,
right.
2008, they couldn't. They're
All you
making
just fog a mirror.
Yeah,
That's
you're
it.
making $2,000 a month. You got a $2 million home with the yacht. Like, there's no way that unless you find out a way in the next couple of years to substantially increase your income, you're not going to be able to afford that $2 million house.
Exactly.
So here I know it. I see it. You see it. I mean, it's not easy to get a loan. Like they're still looking at their bank accounts. They're still getting. There's like more non-QM things coming around now. I noticed,
Yeah.
but still, like even with like a conventional loan, it's not. I wouldn't say it's easy. Like you're gonna have to.
You got to prove that
you got to do
can
some
afford it.
digging. Yeah,
Absolutely. You got to prove that you the ability to repay. That's
exactly.
one of the check marks for it. And even with the non-QM stuff, it's not like it used to be. Non-QM, you're putting some skin in the game.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not getting in there with 3%, 5% down. You minimum, depending on the product, 10% up to 30% down on some of these products. So
yeah, they make sure that you have like whatever you need in the bank to if they need to come knocking on your door, the bank's safe.
Absolutely.
They want to make sure. But
yeah,
it's times are changing, man. And I think it's like I said, it's interesting to see these things just because. So I mean, from a business standpoint, but James is gonna be your guy, man. Once you need that home loan,
you better know it. Let me know. Use my money. Don't use your own. These cash buyers, these guys coming in and they killing it for us. It's like, my goodness, why do you want to use your money for that? Just use our money.
Yeah, use them. If they're giving away money at 2%, come on.
Yeah, you
Well,
want to get a loan in this economy.
Yeah.
You don't want to.
Yes, absolutely, man. Do it before
You're losing money by. You're just not losing money by keeping it. Or
yeah, absolutely.
Like
Use that cash on something else. You got you're crazy. So, anywho, we're moving on. Do a little sprinkle of real estate. If you do need anything for your real estate needs, of course, our information down in the description below. And of course, for your title needs, Aaron can help you. Aaron looks good. That's what he does.
And follow me on the gram. Aaron looks good. And
you got it.
And if you got a Peloton, it's the same thing. I'll be on there. I spend like twice a week. I try to keep the figure right. 'Cause dad bod seeping in.
I hear you, man. I hear you. All right, this next deal. So the Olympics, of course, we know coming up in Beijing. It seems like the Olympics just ended because this is an off year, but of course we didn't have them last year. Then they moved over to this year. My wife and I were talking. Why does everything say 2020? I said, well, it was supposed to be last year. But yeah, the 22 Olympics are going to be in Beijing. And they have some COVID guidelines that they announced. And with vaccines and foreign spectators. So basically, if you're not from over there, don't go.
Yeah, you're not gonna go.
They're not gonna let you in. You're not vaccinated. You got to spend 21 days in quarantine.
What date did those games start in 2022?
So it's the winter.
Yeah.
It's the Winter Olympics.
February,
So
March, I think.
21 days, bro. 21 days. You got to spend in quarantine, and once you get there, if you're not vaccinated, you got to spend 21 days in quarantine.
That's 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
Are you allowed to practice during these 21 days or what?
Well, they say you can try to get an exemption from it, but you basically they're doing the NBA bubble type Olympics is what they're going to be doing. If you are vaccinated, you can go in. They'll let you in there, but you're going to be in this closed bubble type system that they're going to be using for all the areas. For your leaving and coming and going and all that kind of jazz.
I mean, I can't be mad at them. I mean, COVID's still around, but 21 days is a little much.
I think so too, man. That 20. I mean, they say that the symptoms would show up. I mean, especially I could see you taking a test, and if you have any, positive results, okay, look, you got a quarantine.
Quarantine free.
But just because,
there's a better way than that. Well, I'm not, like I said, I'm not Tokyo government, but you take a test and symptoms show within 3 days. They usually say.
Usually they'll start to show up. Yeah,
3 days. So, I mean, get the best test you can. Have them quarantine for a day or two till the test results come back, and then hey, if they're good, they're good. But that's 3 weeks though.
3 weeks is a long time.
And that's goes back to what we were talking about. Well, not back, but what we were talking about before. They're pretty much being forced to have a vaccine to do anything now.
To do anything, yeah. Absolutely. They want to know that you have it. It says spectators from the mainland China who meet the requirements of the COVID-19 countermeasures will be allowed into the games. So, I mean, if you're from China, then you can get in, but otherwise...
they're making a home court advantage, it seems like.
It sounds like it to me.
Sounds like home court.
Because we're always neck and neck with China, trying to, win the most medals and things. So I don't know. That's kind of suspect.
This is important because we are at Century 21 Olympian, and our Olympian he's not here today.
Right. Absolutely.
It's be honest. You think about it. How many people get to go to the Olympics, man? That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is cool when you think about it.
Yeah, it's. I mean,
some of the stories he tells, it's kind of it's funny, but he's not here. We won't divulge any of that information on him.
It's pretty cool to say, hey, I was that. I mean, there's really a handful of people, handful of athletes. That
absolutely.
Said that. I mean, granted, like the Olympics, when you're dealing with if qualifying. Have you seen the qualifying for basketball? Well, soccer is I guess the most kind of even because everyone plays soccer.
Right.
You play basketball and you got the Olympic qualifiers and they're playing Guatemala, the USA is playing Guatemala. It's 156 to 3.
Exactly.
Come on. But it's special to say you're an Olympic athlete. And you got Steve, man. In my I would like to think in my next life I'll be an Olympic athlete.
Hey, there you go, man. And funny enough, he was in the Winter Games. So
the Winter Games, exactly.
That's we'll see how it goes, man. It's kind of one of those things. We
should probably go into the NBA. Talking about vaccines right now. The NBA has which I got Isaac Johnson, but I was also discussing. I don't know if you guys have seen Kyrie Irving. And if you know anything about basketball, you know Kyrie Irving, Andrew Wiggins. These guys, they don't want to get the vaccine, and they don't feel. And then I understand, it's your body. You putting something foreign into there that you don't know much about. Even if you do all the research, you still don't know what's going on in that lab. But we're talking, $30 million a year. These guys are losing $100,000 a week to not play a game. And if that's your stance, and that's a good stance, because if you're willing to lose money, that much money to not have the vaccine, then that's good. But what do you feel about the vaccine, James? About that portion of it?
Man, listen, I'm not for the vaccine. The rolling, how they handled the rollout of the vaccine, I'll say that.
Yeah.
To force a person to do it, I don't think it's cool. I think they could have handled that differently, and it probably would have been a different result if it was just kind of, we would just recommend it. We're not going to just mandate it or anything. These guys, Johnathan Isaac, I heard the statement that he put out there, and he spoke true and gave his opinion about it. He said, we live in the land of the free, blah blah blah, so on and so forth. And I'm not knocking it at all. But ultimately, you work for a company, you work for a business, and you are paid handsomely to work for that business. And quite frankly, you got to do what you got to do.
That's kind of one of those things where, vaccine and dress code are not even in the same league. But you come to work.
No,
you got a dress code at work,
I hear you.
You're getting paid, so you're gonna wear. If your dress code is suit and tie, you're gonna show up in suit and tie to get that money. But it's not on the same scale, right? You're putting something in your body, but still, you don't have to get the vaccine. But also, if you want to get paid to play the sport, there's a lot of kids growing up that
want to be in this position.
I'll take the vaccine to hoop.
And in fairness, in his position, is not anti-vaccine. It's just more. He said it should be your choice.
Yeah.
You should have a choice whether or not you want to do it. Now, you look at basketball, and it's not. You don't say, "Oh, it's it's not a contact sport, but it is.
It is.
The guys are sweating, they're spitting,
But is
bleeding.
it a contact sport
Hey,
nowadays?
ask a 4 and a 5. It's a contact
Right.
sport. Maybe not for the ones in the twos.
Right.
Yeah.
They're a little soft out there.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's not as much contact as it was in the 90s anymore.
Oh
But,
yeah, you can't do
but-
much of anything you do back then.
You gotta lean on someone. You gotta breathe.
You got to.
You gotta bump into someone.
It's impossible not to come in contact with someone's body
Yeah.
fluid out there,
Yeah.
right? So, with that being the case, I completely understand. Wanting to have some protocols.
Here's a thought. Maybe how do all the other players feel about the vaccine? Like, I wonder if there's anyone that won't play if if there's people that are unvaccinated.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. So what if the whole league is like, I don't care if the person's vaccinated or not, we can play ball. Then like, is that a big issue at that point? Like,
I guess it all depends on how they
right?
who you got, right?
Because that's who you're running into. You're the biggest chance of you getting COVID is
yeah,
the person you're guarding, the person in your
that's
team.
true.
So, like, I mean, these guys are probably at Lifetime Fitness, running with some people that they don't know if they have the vaccine or not. So, maybe, NBA, if you're listening, let's just get a poll. Like, if it's over 90%, we don't care. Like, if you're the vaccine or not, then
Let's do this.
Yeah. But that's not gonna happen.
Yeah, it won't, because it's a business ultimately, and if one of those guys, they got this contract and they end up getting sick and dying, that won't be cool at all for them. So I mean, this guy Johnathan Isaac, he's been kind of one of those. He doesn't really conform with everybody, and I can respect him that he has a voice. I think there was one image that they showed him. Everybody around him was kneeling with the Black Lives Matter shirt on, and he was standing up with his head bowed. Which, hey, I think that's your choice.
Yeah.
It's an individual choice. You can do that. But yeah, he's being, and I don't know that he's been vilified as per se, but the spotlight is on him because of his stance. But I think the man should have his choice. Although, if you pay me $30 million, how many times you gonna stick me? I would be a pin cushion. $30 million.
I'll be first. No, I'm not gonna.
And it's like you can take it and still act like you never took
You can
it.
give
Right.
No one's got to know.
Nobody's got to know. It's your personal business.
If it's 0 to
Now, I will say I was surprised. Did you see where Kareem Abdul-Jabbar came out and was calling out people?
I did not. Oh, did he basically said to get the.
Yeah, he was saying to get. I was surprised that he came out and said that, man. I was just like, really, bro? No,
Well, I've seen more like on ESPN. Oh,
yeah.
vaccine. Green was one of them. But Andrew Wiggins, basically, he recently got the vaccine because he was one of the. Got it. First. Which he also interesting. So I don't.
Like, bro, when the last time? Okay, when the last time you been to church?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, okay. Nah.
I don't know his religious background, but he said that he got denied, so he had to get. That's the religious. Which, like you said, your body, this type.
Absolutely.
But also, it's a job too.
It is.
I have to make this money. Money's not. Well, it is necessary. Not necessary.
So let's say you got your job says that you got to wear steel toe boots. You go in there with tennis shoes on. They gonna say, nah, bro, you need some steel toes because you're gonna crush your feet in here if you don't put this on. So that's kind of the situation it is if you look at it, from a work standpoint. But it's. I think it's still your choice. But if you're paying me $30 million,
you got a choice to make this money or not.
you do. You absolutely do.
And you don't have to get this money.
You don't have to get this cheese at all.
You don't have to do what all the girls around the U.S. grew up wanting to do. That less than 1%.
Yes.
It's just one of those things. You gotta weigh. It's worth a lot more.
Sometimes, absolutely, brother. There's people that would want that.
We also discussed the guys that are holding out. You don't see very many rookies holding.
Yeah, Brian the bench warmer is not holding out.
He's not holding out.
Like, I'm gonna go ahead and get this $12,000 a week.
Kyrie Irving. I mean,
yeah.
So, he'll lose the 30. Him, I say. Good, but
he'll make $33 million this year.
Exactly.
Yes.
So he's able to lose 30.
Yeah.
Guys that come into the league on a $3 contract. How many of them are this research?
Yeah.
Probably not many. Vaccine. I am mama's crib. Off. So.
Oh, here's a number. His contract was for $136,490 million guaranteed. So yeah, Kyrie, he can afford not playing. Yeah. But us regular folks, yeah, we might have to go ahead and get moving. What is that a? Oh, okay. I was like, what that boy talking about?
I feel like Kyrie's not gonna show up either. He'll just be because he wasn't even there last year, the year before, where he was just like.
I was actually so glad that the Nets lost. I was like, man, stop trying to make.
Well, you got the Lakers and the Nets. They got every All-Star from the last 20 years on two teams. Like it's like.
But we gonna win. The Lakers are taking the championship this year, boy. We're doing it.
Yeah, and going to the retirement home after.
Yes, they are. Ben Gay and Icy Hot. For everybody.
Are you the Rockets? I don't know if the Rockets look good last night. It's preseason, so I'm not gonna get hype. I'm just saying.
Did any stars play? I didn't even.
They have their best players. Porter, KPJ, and Jalen Green. They played. I mean, they played like I think 20 minutes or so.
Oh, okay.
But they look good, man. I hope. I'm not a big Rockets fan, but I'm here in Houston, so. Hopefully, I want them. They got a whole bunch of young
but some people you don't know. I support them if they're not playing the Lakers. You know, I'm cool. I'll support the hometown team.
Yeah,
But yeah, other than that,
I like the Lakers too. I just don't like LeBron. I like him as a person, not as a. He's a great man. He's a great for the community.
Yeah.
But his on court persona, I'm not with it. And he can't act. Man,
anybody that's a baby about getting fouled and all that stuff.
Yeah. So in like, I'm gonna sound like a Jordan supporter, which I am. But
who isn't? Anybody that says they aren't, they're a liar.
Man. So look, I've watched. Have y'all seen Space Jam?
The new one?
Yeah.
No, not the new one.
Okay, go watch it. It's a kids movie. I'm not gonna hate on the movie. It's a kids movie. It's a storyline. Like it's cool, but that boy cannot act, man. So you watch that one, and then you watch. I put my 6-year-old son on the first Space Jam during COVID, and so you watch him act, and then you watch Jordan. Jordan looks like Denzel out there after watching LeBron act. I'm like, man,
LeBron is no actor at all.
Yeah, he is no actor. It's not his thing at all, man.
Keep bouncing the ball.
And his son was in it, and his son was a much better actor than him.
Really?
His son was actually a pretty good actor. LeBron needs to take some lessons from his son. But that's what goes. There's a lot of in the household. We watch a lot of kids movies, so
I can understand.
I watched Sonic. We watched Sonic the Hedgehog movie.
That's a movie out now?
It came out last year.
Oh, okay.
It's actually really good. But yeah, I just watch a kids movie.
Well, that's a milestone for LeBron to become get that actor deal under his belt along with his son. So
yeah,
it is what it is, man.
Yeah,
it is what it is. Speaking of milestones, man, so there's a driver that works for HEB. So for those of you that
are not in the viewing region,
HEB is the largest grocer that I would say in Texas. You go to pretty much any town, you can find an HEB. And they provide pretty much anything. You go to HEB Plus, you can buy a TV in there, barbecue grill, you can do pretty much anything.
If you're outside of Texas and you hear about HEB coming, let the other stores know it's over with.
It's over with. It's a wrap. Publix and whatever Piggly Wiggly is.
Wegmans.
If HEB steps foot in your town, just put them on notice.
And HEB.
Yeah,
Because
so
Kroger is here holding on.
they're
but-
trying to.
Randall's is on their way out.
Oh, Randall's is out of here.
Yeah. No, Randall's is always empty, right? There's
They're out of here.
Yeah.
But anyway, this guy Danny Guerrero, he made a delivery, and this made him the second person in the company to drive 4 million miles with 0 accidents. 0 accidents. This is a video of this guy driving his 18-wheeler. I mean, he's been with the company for 41 years. That's a long time, man. And that driving, that road, man, that can take a toll on your mind, your body, your soul. But he's in the HEB history books now because he drove.
He's in the Texas Trucking Hall of Fame. 4 million, man.
Yeah, and I just did the math.
Yeah, I was like,
how many times do you think he can go around? He traveled around the entire Earth.
4 million miles?
Yeah, I just did the math on it.
4 million around the earth.
Yeah, how many times?
I'm just gonna throw a random number out there. 43.
20.
160.
Oh, wow.
160 times. Boy,
Wow.
man. Yeah, that dude is
He's definitely, man,
beast.
I'm from San Antonio, and that's a San Antonio guy right there with his
yeah.
cowboy hat
And
on.
I guarantee you he's
Wranglers.
a Cowboys fan.
Oh, definitely a Cowboys fan, but man. Like I told James before, I grew up in San Antonio, man. Everyone's a Cowboys fan. Everyone's a Spurs fan.
Yes.
And the reason I'm not a Cowboys fan is because all those fans are the Cowboys fans.
They got you jaded, huh?
Are the worst fans. I like James. He's changed perspective for me.
Yes.
But everyone else that I know is the Cowboys fan every year. We them boys.
Yeah, they give us a kind of a bad name, but we're not all created equal. But kudos to brother Guerrero.
4 million miles.
4 million miles, man. That is woo.
And that's good. I mean, and it's good for him, but also people out there on the road, like guys like that, you want driving because you don't got to worry about them running you off the road, or they're the truck drivers that you don't see on daily. Because when you see truck drivers, usually they're either doing something silly or
Cutting you off.
Yes.
Yeah, so this is probably the guy that's probably not doing that. Not saying he didn't have times where he probably made a mistake, but he seems like the guy that you want in front of you.
Absolutely.
Or on the road with you.
And just so we know, this guy he has no plans. He doesn't even know when he's going to retire. So he might be chalking up another million miles. Who knows?
Yeah, so 41. So that's about what if he's been with 41 years. That's, I mean, every 10 years he's doing 1 million miles.
That's crazy, bro.
So if he gets another 10, then he'll be 5 million. He'll be in record books. Put his jersey up somewhere in the HEB
Something,
warehouse.
man.
Gotta put his jersey up somewhere.
They should make all the employees wear a Danny Guerrero jersey or something. Because that's crazy. That's a lot of miles, man.
Danny Guerrero night at the Spurs game.
I don't like driving to Dallas, man, from here. And that's only like 260 miles.
Anything over 2 hours, I'm pretty
I
tired.
can't stand it. Dallas drive is just so boring. You just go straight.
Yeah, that's.
Anywho.
And it's a big. It's not a regular car. You're talking an 18-wheeler.
Oh yeah, 18-wheeler for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Well, cool. We're moving on, man. We get a little bit of this crypto.
We're always in the
If you
crypto.
don't have cryptocurrency in your portfolio,
You're missing out.
you're missing out, man. I opened up that thing this morning because I get the alerts. I have them set to let me know, and when I open up that thing, I'm like, oh yes.
It's happening.
And it's still going. Oh my goodness, it's still going.
Hey, I will say,
It's at 54,952 is where Bitcoin is.
I looked at something the other day.
From when?
So yesterday it was at 40, 45, 46,
yeah.
somewhere around there.
Out
Yesterday,
of nowhere, it just took off.
just out of nowhere, man. It's just up.
But one thing you're gonna hate me for, James, is this one, because you asked me about this. Have you heard about what's going on with
It's been
this?
going up.
It's been going stupid.
Stupid high.
It went up like 80% in a day.
I saw that, man.
Pull it up here on the screen. Yeah, the Shiba Inu. I hate to even pull it up on stream because I don't want to show people it, but it's doing it's performing.
It is.
So but like stuff like this to me shows that you're heading into like another one of those periods where the market is about to do stupid stuff.
Yeah,
Like it's about to go crazy.
because this one is definitely up, and I know we talked about it about a week or so ago. And I don't know, it just seemed gimmicky to me, kind of like that Dogecoin and some of the other ones. But I was just like, well, I know these two are definitely going to be moving in the right direction, and you know, as many believe, Ethereum will be even bigger than Bitcoin. So I mean, if you're not doing some cryptocurrency, I say just put it in there. If you got some money to spend, and leave it. Put it in there and leave it.
So what are your favorites right now?
But of course you got your Bitcoin and your Ethereum, and I have some Tron. Tron is one that
it sounds cool.
It does it does sound cool. I will say when I got into Tron, it was like a penny. Penny, then jumped to 2 cents, and as of this morning, we were almost at a dime. So, hey, it's moving, and it's been less than a year.
It's a 10x
that I've done it. Yeah. So, it's moving in the right direction. But crypto is one of those things where it's not a matter of, and we said this before, on whether or not it will pop. It's just when it will.
Yeah, and you can get on board and profit from it, or you can just let it adapt your lifestyle and not profit from it.
Right.
But it's funny that you said that because, like that specifically, because this article right here is basically saying Texas is, because we were just speaking about HEB.
Yeah.
Cryptocurrency is now coming to Texas grocery stores. Abbott was referring to the decision by HEB to put cryptocurrency kiosks in some Texas grocery stores.
HEB leading the charge.
And that's why HEB is coming for the rest of the U.S.
Absolutely. HEB will be there. If you don't know, now you know.
And HEB they have barbecue as well. Certain HEBs have barbecue, and it's not.
Yes.
That might be our next stop.
Hey, let me know.
Meets and bounds. But yeah.
I'm with it. I'm with it.
They got a little about HEB. I love HEB, so you're going to listen for a second. They got culturally based meals that are easy, and they got this thing called Mi Tienda where you got some they got their own their private label.
Absolutely.
Their stuff is good.
It's just as good or better than some of the main
exactly
stuff. As a matter of fact, when Bluebell went down with the Listeria, bro, the Creamy Creations.
Whoa! I know about the Creamy Creations.
Oh my goodness, bro! I was like, okay.
They're for real.
Creations,
then they made like a Creamy Creations deluxe version where it's like, I don't know,
it's delicious.
Yeah,
it is delicious. HEB, you can't go wrong. Some store brand stuff you like,
yeah.
But HEB stuff,
they got it right.
Yeah, they got it right.
HEB,
and it's interesting you say about the Mi Tienda, man, and which some folks don't know because they brought the Mi Tienda in some of the mainstream stores, but Mi Tienda exists as a full freestanding store in some parts of town. I know there's one in Pasadena where you just go in and it's a full. You think you're in the the panaderia, what they call it, and everything. It's just the Latino experience.
Yeah, they cater to a certain
that demographic.
Demographic. Like even some of the HEBs in San Antonio, in the heavily populated Hispanic areas, they're called supermercados. So they have I think they have some here too, but like in San Antonio they'll have it looks like a supermarket, like a Mexican supermarket. You go in there and it's bright colors and but the food's good, man. You can't beat their private label stuff.
You can't.
It's good. It's like I said, I rock with HEB. My wife thought Kroger was better for a second, and then I had to.
What?
Yes.
What is wrong with her?
Man, and then I had to make it, and I had to be intentional with HEB, man. And I was bringing stuff home, like, you like this, babe? And she finally, I'm like, this is not Kroger, this is HEB right here. So I just think Kroger was new to her, so she thought it was cool, because they don't have them in San Antonio.
The Kroger?
They don't have Kroger. They don't have anything in San Antonio.
Oh, really? Okay.
Because they tried to come in Kroger, they didn't do well. Albertsons tried to come in, didn't do well. Because people in San Antonio, they stick with the HEB, man. They hold it down. So.
Well, I will say this, man. We might need to call Mr. Butt and give him a shout out or something. You think he got an Instagram? We can tag him in this video because we're showing you some love out here.
Showing you some love,
Showing you some love.
I just need a couple extra coupons, Mr. Butt. Come on, man. And then the thing about HEB is the coupons are right there as you're shopping. So
they are. Exactly.
They're right there.
You don't have to put them out for you.
They put them out.
Like if you're looking at a steak and you need some macaroni, and then there happens to be a coupon that's right there by the steak. You know what I'm saying?
And man, they have already broken ground by my house. A new one is coming in. And when
really?
Tell you, bro, when we moved there 6 years ago, they right at 288 and Highway 6. There was a rumor. Oh, it's going to be an HEB. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So, and
We've been waiting.
they finally broke ground on that thing, man.
They got the plus in Pearland.
Yes,
right there.
exactly. And it's so busy all the time. I
Yeah,
used to go
it's
to
huge.
Missouri City.
Yeah, it's huge.
Because it's so busy over there at the plus. It's huge. It's
it's
gigantic.
huge, and there's tons of people always there. I didn't like that. I
Yeah.
like the HEB, but it was just too many. I don't like too busy HEB.
Way too many people. So we usually go to Missouri City to go. But as a matter of fact, I got to go get some cabbage on my way home.
Back on track. We got to go HEB, crypto. You need to get some crypto. And I'm
Yes.
saying that I don't have crypto, but I'm getting some today. We
Get
always
you
talk
some
about
crypto,
it.
man.
I forget about getting some until we start talking again. So
Chad, we're gonna set him up before he leaves.
Hey, we need to, but also another like important thing about this article is this is insane to me. So the annual GDP of Texas went from 998 billion in 2000.
I saw that 9th or 10th largest economy in the world. Texas.
Oh yeah, in
It's
the
up
world.
7%.
Yeah, I was aware of that. Yeah.
Yep, and it's almost a $2 trillion GDP economy.
Yeah, so I forgot where I saw the list that we were like in the top 15 in the world economies.
It's top 9 or 10 now.
So when you hear people from Texas kind of walk around with the chest poked out,
We have a reason.
that's why.
We have a it's crazy. You think about Texas. It's as in a whole economy. Like not even the rest of the U.S. Just Texas.
Yeah, it's like its own country.
It is, man.
I mean, it's as big as a country too. To be honest, like you're gonna like.
Well, actually, we were. You know, back in the day, we allowed the United States to join us. Once we signed that deal. So it's no big deal. It's cool. We're here. We're part of the union, and we'll just make sure that we don't regret the 1845 coming together with the rest of the country.
We'll be all right, man.
We'll be good. We'll be good.
As long as those California people stay out.
Oh man.
They raising our
Don't
prices.
get me started. Don't get me started.
They're raising our prices.
They're raising the prices.
Talking about home prices over here.
Then they want to leave there and come here and bring the same type of bro. Take that back over there.
So you keep your $4 a gallon gas over there.
So it's keeping in that Bitcoin vein. So we know that El Salvador had accepted or made cryptocurrency. Or was it Bitcoin specifically,
Yeah,
Jack?
Bitcoin,
So
yep.
Bitcoin specifically, a tender, a currency in their country. And once one country does it, then it's just a matter of time before somebody else gets on board. So it looks like that now Brazil
It's joining the party.
is joining the party.
And also with El Salvador, I think it's over half or about half of the Bitcoin wallets because I think when they bought all the Bitcoins, they gave everybody $30 worth.
Really?
Of
That's
Bitcoin.
a buy-in?
Yeah. And so what they ended up finding out is that at least half of El Salvador is using the wallets.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Over half?
That's good.
Over half. It was somewhere in the half mark. I don't know if it was
The
a
whole
little
country?
under or a little over.
The whole country?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So, and I mean, when you have stuff like that, where you have a whole countries of people joining the party with you,
It's only
you're
a matter of time.
so early.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody's so early right now, and so Brazil is looking to get their feet wet here. It'll be so. I'm just letting everybody know right now what this means. Whenever Brazil starts buying Bitcoin, it's probably time to sell a little bit when they start announcing it. 'Cause that's what happened with El Salvador. We were at like 52,000, about to make that big run.
In the drop.
Yeah, and then El Salvador announced that they were buying like 700 Bitcoin for their people, and then it nuked all the way down to 40,000. So
Oh wow.
buy the rumor, sell the news. Never forget.
Bitcoin advice.
Yeah. If you're
Bitcoin.
trying to
You
protect
heard
that
it.
little bag.
You heard it here.
The Olympian Table.
You heard it here, buddy.
Your own Jack.
We'll invoice you later.
But yeah, it's like it's interesting to see. And like I said, we're still really early. This is like the second country to actually make it a legal currency.
What is gonna be that one country that's like? I mean, like El Salvador, Brazil, big countries, right? But what is that power country? The one
Well,
that's
China's already on board, but they've created their own
create their own currency.
kind of, I forgot what it was called. It was
CBDC, central bank digital currency.
yeah, it was some kind of I can't remember, but they're already on board with the idea, so it's just a matter of time,
So
man. And they got the Olympics coming next year. It's gonna happen. Anybody that's a naysayer,
They're just old.
it's gonna happen.
Usually they're just old.
Get used to it. It's gonna happen. It is definitely going to happen.
Legal payment in Brazil. So we need to go to Brazil. Since y'all got all the Bitcoins, we're gonna go to Brazil.
Right.
on your tabs, guys. On your tabs.
Hey, if it goes to the moon, I would totally take everyone I knew. And I was talking about this with my friends yesterday. If I ever made it, I would totally buy a house for like my parents, and then get a house for like me and just the homies. Just so like they're taken care of, you know, like
Right.
the whole circle's taken care of. I would do it.
On the moon or just here?
No.
Hey, if I go on the moon, I'd do it on the moon.
I thought you said my house on the moon.
Actually,
no, if it goes to the moon.
Yeah, we talked about that. I don't know if you agreed with me, but I would not. Even if we had the option to go to Mars and it was free, I would not do it.
Yeah, me
It's
neither.
not worth it.
I don't have any desire.
No
to-
interest at all.
I don't have any desire to. Like, I always say things I don't have desire to. Like, I recently started going to CrossFit.
Oh, okay.
And I was trying to get back in shape, trying to bring it back.
I see you.
But like some of the guys in there, man, they be like, you know, you go to CrossFit, you warm up, you do some strength training usually. So it's been over the last couple of weeks, it's been squats, like some cleans. But the squats, people, you know, there's some guys in there that are putting a lot of weight on there. Like I'm talking 400, 500 pounds when it comes to like the lower like reps. I have no desire. Like I don't know like why do you need to squat 500
I have nothing
pounds?
to prove.
Yeah, I have
in
nothing
that
that's
area.
like we hit the ceiling. Like I told my wife, I'm like, she's not gonna squat more than no. I'm not gonna squat more than that. There's no what is
Why?
like why do I need to squat this much? Like why is he putting 500 pounds on there? What is that gonna?
Yeah, man.
You feel strong, but like there's a lot of things like I don't have desire to go to Mars. I don't have desire to be on the moon. Like I don't.
None of that.
I
don't blame you, bro.
You gotta know who you're not to know who you are.
You got that right.
You know, so
You got that right.
yeah, the whole Mars isn't that the SpaceX thing? Is it
Yeah.
Mars?
Yeah.
When are they saying they're supposed to have that everything configured for that?
Who knows, man? They wouldn't make it public. They're just a regular layman.
I mean, usually there's speculation like, hey, this is 2025, we're going to Mars. Like,
Well, the fact that Elon and Jeff, they've already kind of taken a shot into outer space. You know, there's working towards something. As ridiculous as it may seem, they're working towards something. I don't know. We'll see. So let's move on to a little bit of controversy. So there's a lady, or there was a lady, shall I say, by the name of Tamla Horsford.
I never even heard of this one.
Oh,
Yeah.
James was telling me about this. This is kind of nuts.
Last year, this woman from Georgia, 40-year-old mother of 5, they found her face down in the backyard of her friend's house in Forsyth County, Georgia, after an adult sleepover party. There she is, right there. I bet you can guess which one she is.
Yep. Only one with the slightly different
Yeah.
amount of melanin.
The only one with the pajamas.
The one, yeah. So they found her out in the yard, face down, dead. And according to some of the documents obtained, they just fumbled horribly on the investigation of this thing. From allowing multiple people in the room for questioning at the same time, they did they were actually interrogating people not at the police station but at the house where the lady was killed. Letting people kind of go. Who knows why? Now, a little bit of history about Forsyth County. And I don't know what the dates were. But this county was known to do what they called a racial cleansing that drove out 1,100 black residents. They just basically came to them and said, "Hey, look, y'all got to go. You got to get out of here. You ain't got to go home, but you got to leave here." This was after the American Civil War. They were emancipated and granted some citizenship, but these people, when they lived there, they basically just told them, "Listen, you can't stay here." And a group or mob of folks told them that they had to leave Forsyth County. And since then, this area.
When was this?
This was 1912.
1912. Okay, yeah, still looking.
Since then, this area has been predominantly an area of where the demographic was not made up of people of color.
Yeah. Oh,
As a matter of fact, I think the black population was like around 4% or so. So there's a dark history around this area already of Georgia. Now, many folks think of Georgia, you might say, oh man, got a lot of, people of color there, blah, 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 so on and so forth. But that's Atlanta. Atlanta is for the people, but the mass majority of Georgia, you've got, they're not as sparse around. But nevertheless, that's the history of Forsyth County. But this lady, the way they basically found her, she had bruises on her face. She had a laceration on her heart. I think she had a cracked vertebrae. Second story fall now. Now, I'm not saying you can't get hurt from a second story fall.
Yeah.
But the way that they found this body and how it was basically mangled inside, it just seemed a little fishy. And it was kind of an open and shut kind of deal, very, very fast. And the interviews that they did with the people, man, the stories didn't match up. There was cameras around the house, one specifically on the back balcony where she supposedly fell off or jumped off, that on the 911 call, the guy says, hey, yeah, we got a camera out here. We'll get it. We'll check it.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. No one says, no. Don't check it. We'll get it. Don't worry about it. But that evidence was never reviewed. And later it was deleted on accident.
If you're listening to this one, you got to read this article. It's a lot of funky stuff going on. But I'm gonna let James continue.
Yeah. So, and I said it was last year. They reopened it last year, where this happened in 2018. This person, Jean Myers or whatever, they were friends, but the lady, Tamla, didn't know everyone that was there, but she just happened to be the only black lady that was actually there. But nevertheless, man, she fell from this second level balcony. And it really wasn't, it took a couple of years before anybody even said anything about this case. T.I., Kim Kardashian, all these guys, 50 Cent, they kind of came out and was trying to bring some more attention to this case, man. But I listened to it on Spotify. There's a podcast called Morbid. And if you listen to the evidence that they have about what took place and how they handled it, all the transcripts, man, it was just ridiculous.
A snap on this article, just Snapchat conversation that this is crazy, man.
One of the guys that was at the party worked for the county, and they found out that he was the boyfriend of the host of the party. He was a pretrial officer in Forsyth County, and he got fired because he was going through the file.
Yeah.
They caught him going through the file, and basically he was fired from his position and looking up information regarding the case, blah, blah, blah. And as rumor has it, supposedly he's back at his job now.
That's the crazy thing. Why would he be going through?
Why go through the file, bro? What you looking for?
Because if you have something, like either you're in there to, if that's happening somewhere where I'm really close to, I'm not touching it because I don't want them to think that I have any part in this.
Exactly.
Secondly, you might be going in there to mess up something or, take out. What do you to get your story straight? Or?
Yeah. They said the body had been moved when they found her at in the position that she was in. Her arms had been moved, but they asked the guy who made it 911 call, "Hey, did you move the body, or how was it positioned?" And it was completely different than what he said. The girl that first found her, she said before she went out. So let's say that I'm looking out the window and I see your body out in the yard. She didn't go out to run to say, "Hey, Aaron, you good?"
Yeah. She
said she stopped right there. She said she got on her knees and said a prayer, and then she went upstairs to get somebody else. Nobody goes out to check the girl's pulse. Nothing.
She said she didn't go out there to like.
No, she
just knew she was dead.
Exactly. She stopped. She said a prayer. She said, and then she went upstairs to get somebody else to say, "Hey, blah blah blah."
Yeah, if I'm in that situation, I'm gonna go see what's going on.
What's going on?
Like,
man?
Hey,
why this girl out here in the grass? What's
she
the
sleep?
deal?
Like,
exactly. So yeah, I might have moved the body because I think she might have been passed out if they were partying too hard. But nevertheless, man, it was
What was the podcast you said you listened to?
It's called Morbid.
Morbid
True Crime. Yeah, it's make sure I give it right. I might have to give her a little. She might have to show us some love too. Morbid.
And it goes into more detail
yes,
about
it goes into detail about it, absolutely. And it's she goes definitely in all the way in Morbid, a True Crime. Yeah, podcast. That's it, True Crime podcast, that one right there. No, that blue, yeah, that one there. That's the one. Yeah, they give in now, there's a little language with these young ladies, but more that they are a little bit hacked off because nobody did anything with this lady.
So, I mean, the first thing I'm going to say to that is, like, you look at the picture, and immediately the first thing I see, obviously, is, first of all, you're in Georgia. Like, those southern states, man, Georgia. You're from Alabama, Mississippi.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
got some areas, man.
Like, you talk about Atlanta's like Atlanta, but, like, then
right.
you go to, like, these country places, it's like, that's where when you think, as a black man, you think of, like, slavery and a lot of stories and things like that. You think about these states, like they're all in that area. So you look at Georgia, what county? Oh, look at this picture. Wow, I see what's going on here.
Right.
I don't know exactly what happened. I can't say for like right, but still, like it's kind of you see like.
But we'll never know what happened because they closed the case.
Yeah, we'll not.
They closed it. They ruled it a accidental whatever. Nobody's charged. This lady's just gone, and her 5 sons are without their mother and her husband.
Yeah, that's
2 stories into the grass. Oh man, I don't know. They did find THC and alcohol. Her alcohol blood level was 3 times the limit.
Yeah,
get it. But they also found Xanax in it, which she didn't have a prescription for Xanax.
Yeah.
And everybody at the party said that they didn't have a prescription for Xanax, except for when they were called on it. And one girl said, "Oh well, I did have some Xanax, blah blah blah." But it's like that's kind of fishy, man.
These moms are partying hard. That's why,
bro.
Xanax, THC, like 40 years old, man. Like
yes,
exactly what you'd expect to happen at
a mom sleepover.
Like a sleepover party, bro.
Yeah, they're obviously something fishy, especially if someone's going through the records that is
why are you going through the records, bro?
That close to the case. Are you worried?
Exactly.
So I don't know what's gonna. So what's the last on this?
It's done. They closed it.
They closed it. Like there's nothing else going on.
The Georgia Bureau of Investigation, they did their checking it out, and unless somebody it's not even like one of those cold cases, never solved kind of deals. They don't have enough information. Like a lot. Here's one of the most damning pieces of evidence is for me in the autopsy. They took no pictures.
Yes, I'm saying they don't have the.
Isn't that what? That's part of the autopsy, right? You take pictures.
Yeah, it's like from the article I read it doesn't seem like there was much.
They didn't try to find.
They didn't try to find it. Yeah, exactly. There's much. So
exactly.
Even if you open the case back up, there's not enough.
There's nothing to go off of.
Yeah, that's. I mean, that's unfortunate, man. That's
very.
It's sad, but
very, very, very.
And then I mean, it's just the world, man. It's just like sometimes you just gotta live. You gotta deal with it. Like, gotta roll with it, man. I mean, like you adjust. I mean, if you're dead, you can't adjust, but you try to adjust as you're dying. You know what I'm saying?
It's unfortunate, man.
Yeah,
definitely. Unfortunate.
It just sucks that she had some kids as well. The kids and
since we're still in that controversy area, man, let's just go to the middle school teacher, man. Okay, so I graduated in the mid '90s, early '90s, shall I say?
We had this conversation a little bit.
There was always rumors of so and so being with this teacher, such and such that being with that teacher, and you kind of hear about teachers flirting with students or whatever. You would think living now that people would say, man, I don't understand why all these teachers all of a sudden start messing with these students.
Yeah.
This has been going on.
You
This
think
is
so?
not. I know so.
Well, I guess there's more avenues.
You can report it now. You can get caught now because this woman, she got caught because there was pictures in the boy's phone that his sister happened to see. So the little boy, he living his life. He like, shoot, man, he in high school now doing this thing. She just happened to go through the guy's phone. He saw the pictures, and this young lady, what's her name? Brittany Lopez Murray. So she's obviously married. She's got the hyphenated last name. I guess she's married to somebody. But anywho, found the phone and basically turned her in. Now, she's having sex with this kid in the car, in the Walmart parking lots and all kinds of stuff going on. But I know, man, I personally know of someone who got caught in this same exact situation.
You know someone that got caught?
I do. That I personally spent intimate time with this person. I mean, we hanging out from a kid, bro. I never would have thought he would have got caught up in it, but the same thing. Pictures. The girl was older, but they went back and she still had the pictures in the phone. And
he was a teacher or what?
Oh yeah, he was a teacher.
And
he was a teacher in a high level position too, and there was no way to deny it. There's no way to deny it. So it's been going on. It's just easy to report it now because we got receipts.
Yeah, we
got receipts. It's not just a rumor. Somebody saying it.
Did you talk to him about this?
No.
What was the motivation?
He got arrested.
Yeah.
You can't affiliate yourself. I don't want to be in no call history.
Yeah, exactly.
With anybody, but
it was cool until
I will say this: if I had to pick out someone in our class that, hey, guess who got blah blah blah, I never would have chosen him. Yeah, ever would have chosen him. So you just never know, man. But this lady here, she got booked on multiple felonies. Lewd and lascivious battery, molestation, and engaging in a sexual act with a child. This is in the Miami-Dade area. Hialeah Middle School is where it was. So she was the rookie teacher of the year in 2017.
Oh, wow. Man, I wonder how old was the sister? Because the sister became suspicious, and she's the one that...
So let's see. The sister... I read those details too.
Brittany Lopez.
The teacher is 31. The teacher's 31.
And I'm like, these are, I mean, not supermodels, but like you see these stories that happen with these high schoolers, middle schoolers, and like these people can have like.
Here it is. On Saturday, the report said the victim's sister became suspicious of her brother's behavior on his phone. She managed to get his phone and saw explicit text messages and photos between the teen and Lopez Murray. The boy's father later saw the phone and that the teacher had sent the boy photos of her exposed breast and vagina. Text messages between the two detailed how much they, quote, enjoyed the sex with each other. So they were in the parking lot of Publix, Westland Mall. I said Walmart. Sorry, Walmart. No hate. But yeah,
she picked them up from basketball practice.
Exactly, picking them up from basketball practice. It's
always Florida, man. Didn't I say this last
You did say that. You did say that.
There was someone in Austin, I think. That
why is she picking them up from basketball practice?
Man, parents busy maybe.
Man, I guess, but the teachers, you're not supposed to be picking up your students like that.
Yeah.
Another thing is like, why after basketball practice? Like the weird time.
It is. Like you all sweaty.
Practice. Yeah, you all sweat. That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, I know. And as a middle schooler, you ain't hopping in that shower, bro. Like, man, like, yeah. So it's like these, and you see them. These. It's when the women do it, and it's like they're not bad looking. They can get someone that's like know of appropriate age, like. But yeah, you're willing to risk it all for some 14-year-old man.
Yes, man. What is it? What's going on at home?
14 years old. I can't even imagine. Like, man, 14 years. What? 8th grade, man. What?
8th grade.
That
bro.
That's crazy. I wonder. So this is like, that's it. I was like, I wonder what the dad was like. I wonder what the dad's reaction was. Was he like a? I wonder what the dad's reaction was like. Asking my son or like,
hey boy,
you know I'm gonna report this. You know I'm gonna have to report this, but
right.
That's what saying. Like every time, like I was trying. That's why I opened it on Twitter.
Oh my gosh!
But every time people post this articles like, the comments are like, where were these?
Right.
Yeah. It's really
exactly.
Yeah, I had a teacher in high school that was like everyone liked. It was like my junior year. I remember like they had sent the letter because she hadn't finished her teacher certification or something. She was like finishing it that summer, but she was like 22. And
wow.
Yeah, she was young. And man, we're young boys. We're like, man, like Miss Rodriguez got it going on. Yeah, like so. I mean, with Miss Rodriguez, but to this day, I like to think she would never, but
So funny you say that. This is in my church group, believe it or not, my church youth group. There was one of the leaders that just rumored was one of our friends, and we didn't believe it. We're like, man, whatever, dude. Now she was attractive,
yeah.
And everybody felt that way, but we just didn't believe that this guy, like, there's no way, man, whatever.
Yeah.
But dude, they were dating all the way in, doing the do.
And this is the church group?
Yes, bro.
And I mean, are they grown people?
She was. We were kids.
Oh, the dude in your. Okay, you were younger.
I was in the youth group.
Okay,
yes,
okay.
She was one of our youth leaders.
I didn't know if you were leading the youth group.
No, she was one of the leaders.
How old were you at this point?
Man, we were in high school.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, it doesn't make it better, but
no, it don't make it better.
Yeah.
It's the church, bro.
But still, like middle school, man. Come on, middle
school.
Come on, bro. You haven't hit 9th grade, man. Come on.
Hey, that boy was in hog heaven. You better believe he was.
I'm sure he was.
And that don't make it right, because if this was a man, we'd be vilifying him. But
yeah.
I mean, she was wrong. She's wrong for doing it. But they took the innocence.
It's crazy. I can't. I don't know. I just can't see it. I don't see how that happens. Like I just don't. Like and like the lady I was telling you about, my teacher when I was a junior. This one dude, I always try to flirt with her, and she's like, "Nah," and like, "Stop it, go sit down." And he always try to flirt with her, but I mean, never got any progress,
right?
Because like that's how it's supposed to be, right?
That's
like,
how it's supposed. It should be a stone wall.
Yeah. So it's like but yeah, man. Like, I was gonna say these new teachers, but apparently it's not the new teachers. It's been a thing.
That's it.
But yeah, you got phones everywhere. You got text messages. Like back in the day, '96, you can't text your teacher.
There was no internet,
exactly,
bro.
You can't text them.
It ain't happening.
You're over here plugging in your
It was a game.
You're plugging your computer into the phone jack.
It was a game of telephone.
Yeah. So
hey, you said, we said, he said, she said.
Yeah.
So, it wasn't happening.
I guess that's about right. You probably can. I mean, it's easier to get caught nowadays.
It is.
There's a lot more going on that you can.
Especially these kids.
Trails of text messages.
These kids don't know how deep government officials can go into your phones. Like once you delete something, it's not deleted.
It's not deleted.
Yeah.
You just can't see it anymore.
Yeah, exactly. So
yes,
man, it's just crazy. I mean, you're gonna see more and more of this. I think it's just gonna. It is what it is. Like I said, people put themselves in that situation.
They do,
but,
man. They do.
It is what it is.
So moving on, staying in the controversy, man. This guy from California, Zachary Horowitz. I don't know if you ever heard of the name, or Zach Avery, I think is as he goes by. He's listed on IMDb. He has some credit. I think on a couple of movies.
$6 million. What is it?
So this dude defrauded more than $230 million to just investors, basically just saying, hey, I'm going to sell this movie to Netflix and HBO and blah, 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 and these people paid this dude this money. This we got a picture of this Joker. There he is. Yeah. He convinced these folks to give this money to them for these movies and these guarantees to go into to secure some rights on some films with Netflix and HBO, and they were going to do it, but the money wasn't going towards that. This dude bought a house.
He bought a $6 million house.
$6 million.
He didn't buy a house. He bought a house.
Yes,
Capital.
He bought a house. Now he raised about $650 million, and when it got kind of sticky for him, he was kind of paying robbing Peter to pay Paul kind of deal to kind of keep it going. But he lost over $400 million from the people. He gave back $400 million and were able to recover, but it was still $230 million in losses that this guy made.
What was he doing with the other one? The
other money?
Yeah.
It was just cycling the money. So he used the money that was coming in to pay off the early investors. So if I talked to you 2 years ago, I'm getting somebody else on board, and then boom, I'm going to pay you off because I said it was going to happen. It didn't happen. So now I'm taking this new investor's money and I'm going to pay you off. You know how a regular Ponzi scheme works.
Yeah.
So this dude had all of this money
Cycling it.
and all of this, just basically defaulting on all of this stuff. He paid off his $300,000 in credit card debt. He bought a $6 million house in Beverly Hills. All off of his word, bro. You think they'll believe that if you and I went to get $650 million?
He must have, man. That guy needs a sales job.
He got a mouthpiece, man.
Yeah. That's the thing. That's the thing. Like when you, I'm sending you another story, Jack. I just sent it to you. So
Okay.
it's kind of goes in relation to this.
Yeah.
But yeah, like when you must have like this is where he should not have been saying he's going to get the films to where getting them wherever they need. He probably should have been working to get on these films because if he's doing this, he's like he has some type of talent.
He's got something.
Yeah, and he's using it the wrong way. That's what I'm trying to say.
Totally the wrong way.
But that's a lot of money, man. That's a lot of.
If people are not back.
34 years old, bro. You coming up with that kind of money? You got a $6 million house. Now they say he faces 20 years in prison. How much time do you think he'll do?
6
Right.
months.
Yeah, probably. Okay, so yeah, man, that's $600 million. Like, the reason I thought about this is because $600 million is a lot of money, but that's a lot of money to be. That's tons of money to be.
That's more money than we'll see in our lives.
Not
all
legit?
three of us.
Yes.
Like to not legit have anything going on. You got people giving you $600 million. It made me think about. I sent Jack another link right here. If you look, he has it up here. Okay, so there's this scheme, right? So these two guys, they are scheming. The airlines, they're going to. Long story short, it's a guy I went to high school with, right?
Oh, really?
Let me tell you what happened. Okay, so like before my son was born, so about 7 years back, one of my cousins, he's like pretty close to this guy. I was in high school with this guy. He's a cool guy, right? We were in class together, real cool guy. He played football, I played, and like smart guy.
Get in Discord, Jack.
What's that? A real smart guy. But he like about 2014, he started like on Facebook. You'd see him. He's like flying to Miami. He's got a Lamborghini. He's out on South Beach.
Guy you went to high school with.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm like, okay, cool. And he kept doing it more and more, right? So I talked to my cousin and I'm like, hey, you know this guy? His name's Pernell. I'm like, hey, Pernell, like what does he do now? He got some, he got a little dough. It looks like, and he's like, man, he's like, yeah, so and so. I can't really tell you what he's doing. I found out what he's doing, but it's not legal. So I'm like, oh, okay. So
and you just left it at that.
Yeah, so that long story short. So then last week comes one of my friends sends me an article and it's on ABC News.
Oh my God.
He's like, hey, look, he's like, you remember Pernell? I'm like, yeah. He's like, he's been defrauding the airlines.
Oh my
so then I immediately like find out from my cousin. I'm like, hey, what's going on? I sent him that, and he's like, yeah, man. He's like, I knew what was going on. He's like, I wasn't trying to get caught up in it. So basically, this guy was going. I don't know how he did it, but he would go to the airlines and check bags. And then I think he had someone on the airline side. I had to do it, but he would fly to where he's going, and then the bags wouldn't get there because he never checked them. But he said they checked. I don't know how he did that, but then he'd get like $3,500 a bag, like lost bag. So you take receipts and like stuff people buying and say it was in his bag and get reimbursed for what was in his bag.
What?
So he's doing it for years. So made like over 500. I'm sure he made more than that, over 500K. And I'm like, man, like cool guy. I'm like, if you just use that energy towards something that's like, you know, like just like this other guy. If you use that energy, use that charisma, whatever you got towards something that's gonna make you like legit gonna make you some money.
Yeah.
But yeah, now he's looking at like 20 years in prison.
And don't get me wrong, this sounds terrible. This is gonna sound terrible. Sometimes you almost root for the bad guy, but it's like, bro, you could have just stopped.
Yeah, he could have stopped.
You could have stopped.
He kept, but the thing about it is, that's why I'm not talking about. I think he got complacent and greedy. Like, and that's when you start like, he was doing it, and he was doing it for like a lot. It had all the airlines. He was doing it. And I'm pretty sure it's more than this, but he would get the reimbursement checks. He would send it to all his homies. Like he had like 7 homies that they would send the reimbursement checks. He would book it with like a Visa credit card, the flights, and then he had fake IDs made. And he was doing it back and forth.
Oh, so he's got a couple different deals that he's did layers. Okay, so it's interesting, right? 2 crimes, you defrauding people.
Yeah.
Both face up to 20 years. I'm gonna keep watch on these 2 cats.
Yeah, but
Zach
okay.
Avery and Parnell. Was it Parnell Jones?
Yeah, he's a black guy.
Oh yeah, no duh. Parnell.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying it's just
He's definitely doing 20 years.
So I want to see. Yeah, exactly.
He's definitely doing the full 20 years.
But it's just like, man, a cool guy, man.
Oh,
I'm just like, man, it's crazy that like it happened like that. But I remember the day I was like, dang, what is Parnell doing? He got. Because, you know, you see something that, like, you're like...
Like, wait, I knew this dude.
I was like, sometimes my wife, I was like, man, Pernell's coming up. I'm trying to do what I was trying to figure out what he's doing, because I'm trying to come up, too. I'm trying to be in South Beach with a Lamborghini. and so this all comes back, but apparently I don't know how they caught him, but they said the last thing that he ordered, like, 22 fake IDs from China, someone in China. Maybe that's probably why he got caught, because...
Well, here's the thing. When the feds are involved, they let you hang yourself.
Yeah.
I tell people that all the time. Like, you know what? Like mortgage fraud. You don't want to mess around with that kind of crap because they'll let you go.
Yeah.
They'll let me. It's victimless. It's like nobody's really getting hurt. So they'll let you go. So you can't deny and say, hey, well, this is the reason. Yeah. And then they'll let you go 10, 15, 20 different times.
When they decide to get you, they got
a stack of them.
They'll make sure they have more than enough.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can explain one away. You might be able to explain 2, but how about 20?
Yeah.
Can you explain 20 different times that you did this?
Yeah.
So that's
apparently he had like gotten a shipment of like fake IDs, 22 fake IDs.
And how do you explain that when they roll up on you?
They probably knew this person. I mean, if someone from China is making fake IDs, they probably know where it's coming from and somehow know that these fake IDs are fake. You know. So
I don't know that inside job though, because how can you check a bag?
Exactly.
There's
someone else.
Somebody else is in that. Who's his other guy? Dominique.
Apparently, it's his homeboy, his friend.
Martin.
It's his friend, and he was sending. They were sending the checks back to different.
Wow.
There's more than one of them. They were sending checks back to each other's house, and the airlines was sending it to.
I don't know if you see this, Jack, but just real quick, this blurb came across. So there's been a school shooting in Arlington.
Right now?
Really?
Right now.
Oh.
Let's see.
4 people.
Timberview High School.
Oh, wow.
Hold on. Is that in Mansfield, whatever, Texas?
I don't know if they're covering that.
Is there a live
Shooter
video we can
situation.
watch? Usually reporters that show up on site.
So what I just sent you they're saying that it's live. The link I just put in the Discord.
It's live.
They're saying that it's live here.
Timothy George Simpkins. It's a
Timberview High School.
Young African American.
Yes, I am told we have the mayor of Arlington on the phone with us now, Mayor Jim Ross. Mayor, we so appreciate you calling in. Our hearts go out to you, the community, those 4 individuals injured as this shooting broke out at the high school there. Is there anything new, first of all, that you can tell us about the 4 individuals that were injured? We were told 3 students, possibly a teacher. Have you learned any more information?
Yeah, I know that one of the individuals was treated and released on scene with just a glancing wound. The other 3 individuals were transferred to local hospitals. Other than that, I
That's
don't
crazy.
know
There's-
the
what was it, like
severity
a
of
school
their
shooting like
injuries
this, but in,
after their
at Yes
transfer.
Prep, like last week.
And
the
Mayor, do you
principal
know
got
if
shot.
about
indeed
that.
it
Yeah,
was,
I did hear about
we
that.
do
Yeah,
have
it's the one in
confirmation there were
Pearland.
3
Well, it's not
students. Do you
Pearland,
know
but
if
off
the
of the
older
south,
individual
southeast.
that was injured was indeed a
I know you're talking
teacher?
about.
My understanding
So
is
they got this
that
guy
a
at the bottom of that
teacher was
page, Jack.
shot
They got
as
his
well,
picture.
yes.
Oh, they got him already?
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they've
and so far,
identified him.
Mayor, all 4
And they got- he's in a-
individuals
He's in the
still
Silver Charger.
alive. We were told
license plate
2 were actually in
PFY6260,
surgery at
so-
this moment. Is that what you're hearing as
okay.
well?
So
Yeah,
here's
you're
the deal
getting the
with this.
same
We're about to get
information
real-
I am.
Oh, he's
Crime.
not. he's
Okay,
not
so
there.
now
Oh
the
my
hunt
God,
is
yeah.
on, Mayor, in
They
your
don't have him.
community
They don't have him.
for
Oh
a
my
suspect
God.
They don't
believed to
have
be
him.
armed and
Oh my God.
dangerous,
So it's about to get real
still at
complicated.
large
They do
at
not
this
have
time.
him.
He's
This
been
might be a
identified
controversial
as
statement.
18-year-old
But, okay.
male
So this
student
is
Timothy
what-
George Simpkins, believed to be
I'ma say
driving a
it.
2018
I might be
silver
not, but,
Dodge
like, okay.
Charger somewhere out there within your community.
when you
What more
see
can you
a
tell
school
us
shooting
about the
and
search for this student?
young
And do you
black
know
male,
anything
my
else
mind
about
goes
this
different
student that
than-
they are looking for?
Someone that was
I don't know
of a different
anything
descent.
specific
Right.
about this
I'm thinking
particular
like,
individual.
usually if
other
you see a
than,
school shooting, you think
some
of
of the
like,
information you
American
just
in my mind, I
read.
think, okay,
My understanding
like
is
it.
this
Like,
incident
typically.
happened.
Yeah, and it's,
Yeah.
and it's and,
Following the
like you
tail
go
end
back
of
into
a
it and like
physical
it's like, okay, well, he had,
confrontation.
like he was
It wasn't
had
like,
like crazy
we had
things. His family said he
an
did this and
active
did that.
shooter that
He
come
basically got
wandering
feelings
into the
inside.
campus and
But like
started
what?
shooting.
So when you see a young black male, which you
it was
hardly ever see in a school
following a
shooting,
physical
Right.
it's like was there some
confrontation.
type of like
I'm very confident.
like what type of deal was going on? Was there
police
some type of
department,
conflict
here
that
in
he came up
Arlington
and was
and
like,
those
hey,
who are assisting us during the
but we not
investigation
homies no
to
more,
locate
like,
and
or
apprehend
I
this
don't know, is it
individual.
gang related? That's what I'm saying. Like
I've
that's
heard
where
from
Yeah.
5
the
people
governor's
or
office
4 people who
who-
are
Yeah, he shot a lot of people.
then rolled out.
apparently.
So he like he
And then left, right.
yeah. So it's not he just like so. It's probably a different background than a
And Mayor, just put it
traditional
into
school
perspective
shooting
for
where
us,
it's
your
of a
community,
different
this
ethnic
high
background.
school.
Well,
have
I
you
don't know if it
ever,
was like
had an incident like this
some type of maybe someone was
previously
talking
with
to
an
his girl.
active shooter
I don't-
at any of
I
your
I
schools
don't
there
know,
in your
man.
community?
That's crazy though.
I'm curious to see what happens.
What happens with
yeah,
me? I
just
agree with
because
you.
of the,
I agree with you. Timberview High School.
First for me, and I don't
Man,
recall
that is
in the nearly 40 years
that
that
is
I've been a resident of this
unfortunate for
community, something
anyone
like this
involved.
ever
Hopefully they.
happening
Hopefully
before.
everyone-
I thought here this. I mean, this guy's just kicking the
very
bucket
rare
around, but this is an
occasion,
interesting
but
thing to
unfortunately,
consider,
we see
right?
this from time to time
This guy
across
says
the
record
Yeah,
time to get a
true.
suspect's
That was
picture.
Definitely
To
super,
respond
happened.
super
now,
fast.
Yeah, as soon as I pulled up, I saw
the
it. I was like,
community, for the parents,
That is
for the
super
families
fast. I-
there
I'm-
in
I must
Arlington.
admit, he's
What are
right
your
about that.
plans as parents
Yeah.
are reunited
Especially, like,
with their students? It's going to
I'm
be
curious to see
a
how it
very
unfolds, what the
methodical
reason for the
process
shooting was,
here,
'cause I
as
don't think
authorities
it's gonna be a
say,
reason that was
careful and
similar to
control.
another
They
school shooting where
have to
a kid
identify
was just like a loner and he decided
They
to
were
shoot
picking
the
on
school
him.
up. Yeah, or decided to shoot the school up. So
Wow. Yeah, well, got a little derailed on that one, but that blur popped up. It's like, shoot, that's here in the state. We wanna bring some light to that, man. We'll have to watch on that. Timothy George Simpkins. Man, they got him. They got a bolo on this guy. Silver
got the
Charger.
license plate, got his school
everything.
shooting, everything. That was quick.
Everything, bro. This is the quickest. The quickest.
Got his blood type, everything.
Oh well. All prayers go to those people, everyone involved in that. So Timberview will probably be closed for the rest of the week, but we hope that everybody that was affected by this, be it injured or just being there in the experience of it, will be okay.
I'm
Yeah.
really curious to see what happened.
We're gonna have to see what happened.
Because usually with school shootings, like the person either gets shot at the school or
Typically, or they take themselves out.
Yeah, take themselves out. Has there
Yeah.
been anyone that has gotten away? Like, I'm trying to think.
Nothing I can think of. Nope, nothing I can think of. What was it? Vandersloot or Vander? One of them cats. Let's see. Jordan Vandersloot. Yeah, that was his name. That is not who I thought it was. That's a different dude. Anywho. Oh, that was the one that killed Natalie Holloway. But I can't think of anybody. I mean, of course, they shouldn't be really remembered anyways. But still, I mean, they keep showing this video of these buses. I don't know where those buses are going at, but
Yeah, are they showing? Are those the students or
Yeah, I bet they're just
taking them somewhere?
busing them home.
Yeah, to be safe. Oh, see, preliminary information suggests that a student got into a fight with another person in the class and a gun was used.
but why shoot
3
4
people.
other
That's
people?
why I'm like, usually it's like, that's where I'm like thrown off because first of all, the race of what's going on here is throwing me off.
Yeah,
I'm like,
that's just not something we do.
And I'm not looking forward.
we're being controversial here. Like it's throwing me off. So I'm like, there has to be some type of altercation that happened. But then like, what's also throwing me off is there's 4 people that got shot. So usually if it's an altercation, it's between 1 or 2 people.
Yeah.
And like, you know.
I'm really not looking forward to see all the press about this one.
It's gonna be it'll be interesting to see what's said, how it's handled.
Yeah.
Of course, you know, we'll probably see good old Beto come out and talk about gun control again.
Yeah.
And a plethora of other ones that
Yeah,
might
because
pop up
then
here.
like we're going off, but like you got in that fight, he had a gun, so he might have been ready to like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I went to a high school that wasn't as high school, so you know, a lot of black and Mexican, a lot of fights. I mean, I don't know if anyone ever brought a gun to school, but
I'm pretty sure it happened.
it's how but I'm curious to see like what I'm thinking about, like what happened when like we had fights all the time in our school. And I'm like, sometimes when there's fights, there's like, you know, there's like one point when I was in high school, it was like black on Mexican violence, where
Right.
it's like it was like one day where it's like just like tons of fights, like 10 fights, with just like and like there was like Mexican people that were squatted up, black people were squatted up and fighting. And I'm like, was this one of those situations? I don't know if like.
And that was my thing when we were in high school, man. I mean, you had fights, but it wasn't the racial tension in my high. And I'm from Killeen, so it's a military town.
Yeah, it's
So
military.
you can't really be too racist because everybody
Everyone's
from all over the
everywhere.
world,
Yep.
you know, there. But people used to fight though.
Yeah,
It wasn't no guns and not. It's like, look, you gonna take this L today.
Yeah.
But we gonna live.
Yeah.
And we'll be back tomorrow. And you know, if we got to duke it up again, so be it.
Yeah,
But
I was like,
it wouldn't. Nobody died.
That's the thing. I'm like, you just and like if you don't
These
like
fools
them,
these days don't want to take no L's. They don't want to take no.
Man,
They soft out here.
Just fight if you got to fight, man.
Use your hands, man. Hand to hand combat, man. Nobody has to die.
Throw some hands.
Take that
man.
L and or.
Okay, so what do you think the reason for this is, though? Okay, like let's say, like is it the media now? Like is it
The reason for what? The
just
shoot?
like shootings in general? Like
Well,
more gun violence compared
You
to
want my honest opinion?
yeah.
My honest opinion is that we live in a world right now where everybody can get their feelings hurt.
We do.
We have allowed our children to grow up in an environment to where we have sold them that everybody's going to agree
okay.
with you.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to like you. Everybody's going to be peachy keen. It's always going to go your way, and that's not true. That's a lie.
Yeah.
When you walk outside the door, you got to deal with real life issues. You got to deal with folks that don't like you because of the color of your skin. Got to deal with people that don't like you because of your sexual orientation or whatever the case is. They will just not like you, just period.
Period,
And
yeah.
you got to be able to deal with that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
now we get all sensitive because somebody said something to me or somebody looked at me a certain way. It's like, bro, if someone's not putting their hands on you,
Yeah. That's what.
go on about your business.
So, what do you think? Like, well, we talked about this. We went to lunch the other day. We talked about how, like, I think James and I kind of get along a little bit because, like, I see that he don't care what people think about it. Like, I don't care. Like,
Right.
My wife and I, we have discussions about like, she's like, "Why are you gonna do that?" Or so I'm like, I'm not worried about what people think about me. Like, at the end of the day, like, I mean, boo, you're gonna love me regardless. So like, if I like, she like right now, I'm just growing my hair out randomly,
Right.
and she's like, "You gonna cut your hair?" I'm like, "No, well, I'm gonna cut my hair." She's like, and I'm waiting until I'll probably cut it when there's a day where she says cut your hair 10 times. Until that day comes. But it's just like one of those things where it's not like that anymore. They worry about too much what people think.
Way too much,
and
man.
So what leading to that is like, do you think that social media has an influence on, like,
Absolutely.
especially with more gun violence, like, okay, so you portray yourself as tough on social media. Like, do you have to now back that up? Like, you know, because like back in the day when you were tough. Like, people heard about you from, like, you know,
Right.
it's like I heard about him. He's for real. But like now, like, you can be all you want. You can be whatever you want to be on social media. So now are you more likely to be inclined to use like some type of force?
Well, that's the thing. Some people feel like they are, and when they are approached, they don't know how to handle it.
Yeah.
They can't deal with it. I'll say this, and I'll continue to say this time and time again. A lion doesn't have to tell you he's a lion.
Yeah.
When you see a lion,
you know it's a lion.
You know it's a lion.
Yeah.
Period. So I don't gotta walk out here and telling you how big and bad I am. Well, it's like, you know what? I can show you better than I can tell you. But we live where, you know, you gotta have this big facade up, and everybody gets their feelings hurt about everything. We live in a way where you can't say anything, you can't share anything, and the social media piece is the worst. I don't know if you all are aware. Dave Chappelle dropped his last special yesterday.
I didn't even.
It's called The Closer. Okay.
Good? Did you watch it?
Oh yeah, it was good. You know, he has that thought-provoking type of comedy.
Yeah, he does.
In his delivery, right? Well, in his previous one called Sticks and Stones, he mentioned about, you know, he's had a big deal with the LGBT community.
Yeah.
And how, you know, they would hate him or whatever, so on and so forth. Well, he made a joke on that last one mentioning this transgender woman named Daphne that he dealt with, and how you know, he was telling the jokes and he was going in about the LGBTQ, and she was laughing and blah blah blah, and he appreciated that she was taking it as humor, which is what he was delivering it. Well, in this particular special, he brings up Daphne again, and he's talking about how, you know, she's a comedian, and he invited her to come on to open for his show. And he's like, man, she was terrible. She was trash.
Oh, really?
Oh yes, she was terrible. For 45 minutes, he said it was rough. It was garbage, you know, looking at her. But as when she finished and he came out, they sat down, and some guy came to her, or when she was in the audience, he yelled out, "Hey, Daphne, does the carpet match the drapes?" And he said she kind of looked back a little bit without looking directly at the guy. She said, "I don't have carpet. I got hardwood floors." And the crowd lost it, right? He said, man, you know, and from then on, from that night, they just kind of go in, and she's kind of telling her jokes or whatever, so on and so forth. Well, after that night, you know, they kind of hung out backstage and around a bunch of other people, and he said, man, you're really funny, you know, you're really this and that. And he talked about how she just said she wants to, I don't need sympathy. I just need you to understand that I'm living my human experience, and just respect it, right? So he said, man, and I appreciate that. So when she went on after that night or whatever, on Twitter they were dragging him, you know, about his jokes or whatever, so on and so forth. So she came on in defense of him, and she was just kind of saying, hey, listen, you know, this guy doesn't punch up, he doesn't punch down, he punches lines, and he's very good at it. Yeah. So he said, man, and I really appreciated her going in, you know, standing up for me. He said, bro, after that, Twitter dragged this woman. I mean, completely dragged her, so much to the point that 6 days later she killed herself.
Oh, she did?
She killed herself. And man, he goes into it. You can tell he kind of gets emotional with it. Man, it was one of those things. I was like, you know what? That's where we live now. Yeah. If you don't say something I like, I can bully you and bully you, and you won't come to my face and say it. Yeah. But you'll say all you want to say behind your keyboard, and
that's the thing. It's like there's a lot of keyboard warriors out there.
Yes,
the keyboard
a lot of it.
But yeah, it's like it's like, but like sometimes I feel like when you're putting on this like persona on, like, say, you know, like I say, you could be whoever you want on social media, but like sometimes like you start being this person, then you really starting to feel like, even though maybe you wasn't. Maybe you weren't you know, you were raised in a nice neighborhood, nice parents, and you had everything you wanted, but you want to be from the streets. Right. Now that you're putting on this persona, like, and you gotta try to keep that up. Now you're trying to keep it up. Now that's when like that becomes an issue too, you know. So it's like social media is good for some things and it's bad for a lot of things.
Yes,
so
I totally agree, man.
I didn't even know that about that special, but
yeah, it's out, man. If y'all haven't seen it, I'm a Chappelle fan, for sure. So
You gotta be like, if you're not a Chappelle fan,
oh yeah,
there's no way not to like.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a way not to, but like, there's
man,
what he
it
does
was good.
makes so much sense.
It does.
It's
It
like,
does.
It's
and he's always
a
spitting.
it's a craft.
Always, yeah.
Yeah,
and that's his last one. So you wanna? He said it. This is my last one for a minute. So I'm not doing it, anymore.
Retiring like Jay-Z.
Yeah, he said he was done with
Still
that.
hop on every other track.
Well, that was the last. That was a commitment he made with Netflix. So that's the last one he has to do with them. So he's not, But nevertheless, man, it was good. Hopefully, we'll get some more details on this Timberview High School situation.
Speaking of Netflix specials, just off topic. Have you ever?
Yeah.
There's a Indian comedian on there. You might know who I'm talking about, Jack. He's funny. I watched his special the other day, and dude's hilarious. I forgot his name though.
Russell.
He's an Indian guy.
Small guy.
He looks tall. What's his name? Let me see if I can pull him. But yeah, if you.
Oh, you're not talking about.
It's an older. I just never watched. He's a young guy.
You're talking about.
Hassan Minaj is the only guy.
Not
Who's the guy in the
Aziz
community?
Ansari.
Yeah,
Hassan. It's probably,
Hassan Minaj.
Is it like skinny guy?
Yeah.
If
This
I
dude
think-
right here.
Let me see.
This guy.
Yeah. Have you
Yeah,
seen him?
Yeah.
Have you
I know
seen
this
him?
guy.
He's
really-
pretty funny,
really
yeah.
Smart.
Yeah, he's a smart guy. I mean, I watched his special on Netflix. It was funny.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, my wife and I thought it was hilarious, but that was just off topic. So,
It's like an Indian Chappelle type of vibe.
yeah, he's like he goes about it like a certain way. Like you tell a story, right, when you're a comedian.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
it was really good. But yeah, man. To those of you out there listening, this is one to the young people. I don't know how many young people are listening, but man, like, do it. Stop doing it for the gram, man.
Stop doing it for the gram.
do
Live
it
your
for
life.
yourself. Do it for
Exactly.
yourself.
Program, back it up.
Yeah,
exactly.
but do it for yourself, man. 'Cause
Absolutely.
at the end of the day, you're trying to impress someone that don't even care.
Exactly. That you don't even know. You'll never lay your eyes on.
Yeah. So
Doesn't even matter.
that's when then like back to like the keyboard warriors, like
Yes.
feelings hurt. Like we're talking about Kevin Durant, how he makes like
why?
burner
It's
accounts
like,
to
bro,
argue with people. I'm like, bro, you are the
Stop
best.
it.
You are like the best
You the man
offensive
in the
basketball
league.
player ever.
Yes.
And like you over here arguing with people that like, dude, give me.
That don't matter.
I played college basketball. It's someone talking to me on Twitter, I'm not even gonna respond because I'm gonna be like, bro, like you're the best,
It's
the
ridiculous.
most offensively talented basketball player probably ever, and you're over here arguing with some
On Twitter.
Joe Schmo that probably doesn't even get picked up at 24-hour fitness. So
Makes
like,
no sense. Yeah. Well, cool, man. Well, shoot, I think we covered quite a bit today. We appreciate Aaron for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me,
standing
guys.
in, man, for Steve. And as always, of course, you're always welcome to come back to the table to talk about whatever we need to talk about, man.
yeah, it's all. And thanks for having me, guys. It's always good. I'm really curious to see what happens in the school shooting case.
Yeah, man, we'll find out. Trying to get some details. Maybe we talk about it on next week's show. So, for information about the Olympian Table, if you want to come on as a guest, or if you need real estate advice or mortgage advice, our information is down in the description below. Please subscribe to the channel and let's share it with those. And also subscribe to Aaron. Aaron looks good.
Aaron looks good.
Out
That's
there,
me.
he and his beautiful family.
Yeah, and if you have any good topics that you like.
Want us to discuss?
Yeah, that's because like James always like finds the topics. So I'm like, so if you have anything that you think is that just James and
We can
Jack
do
pretty good at finding stuff.
We can definitely do it. So
Yeah.
we look forward to talking each week, and we'll see you guys next time.
Thank you guys. We'll see
Peace.
you. Have a great week thing.